It looks like Tony, the con man Khan, is trying to con us again, telling us that AEW delivers, AEW performs, AEW sets records every single year. And we also have some jobber news today with some guy reportedly being fired from AEW. Some guy called Bear Boulder, Big Boulder, some big fat ass who's reportedly been fired for beating up his wife. And also Ricky Starks has finally won championship gold. Unfortunately though, it wasn't part of AEW because Tony Khan doesn't want to use one of the best guys that he's got on his roster. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. Here, we're talking about Tony Khan today, and we're maybe going to go in on Tony Khan. We're going to maybe attack Tony Khan. Now, look, a lot of people not liking the fact that we tell the truth, and the truth is, as bad as Tony Khan can be, as dumb as Tony Khan can be, as awful as AEW can be, they do get some things right, okay? There's some people on the AEW roster that we enjoy. Christian Cage, Jeff Jarrett, MJF sometimes can be good. And they do some other things good, like Sting's retirement was good, okay? Over the past couple of years, they have done some decent stuff. But when it comes to the women's division, they are actually better than WWE. This cannot be denied unless you're a WWE fanboy that has to kiss Triple H's ass. You have to ram Triple H's nose up your backside and pretend that WWE is perfect, that WWE is fantastic, that WWE is the greatest thing to ever live and that everything AEW sucks. That is not the case. There's some things that AEW do, believe it or not, better than WWE, and women are one of those things. Women are actually allowed to be hot. Women are allowed to be attractive. They're allowed to be feminine. They're allowed to have their own personalities and their own character traits and they're allowed to be women, unlike WWE where they have to be female wrestlers. The WWE women, they just come out and act like men. A lot of them look like men as well. In AEW, the women actually get to look like women. So yeah, it's undeniable that Toni Storm over the past 18 months has been better than anybody, any female in WWE. Got better character, better personality, has put on better matches, has had a better title reign, has done better promos, you name it. Toni Storm is better than anybody in WWE, better than Rhea Ripley, better than Nia Jax, better than Bayley, better than Tiffany Stratton. You are a liar, man. If you do not admit that, now, whatever, you can lie, you can be a WWE fanboy, but that is factual, okay? Toni Storm is the female of the year for the last year and the year before that, 2024, 2023. Toni Storm better than anybody else. And that's not to say that there hasn't been women in WWE or AEW that have done some good stuff, but Toni Storm has hands down been the star of the past 2 years in women's wrestling. You look at Mariah May, she is the best current female champion across WWE and AEW. She's had a good title reign, she's in a great storyline with Toni Storm, and she's doing some good promo work as well. There's no doubt about it. And she's hot. She's fucking hot, and she looks like a chick, okay? She looks like a woman, an elegant woman, an attractive woman. Doesn't have to come out look like a man. She's not fat, she's not overweight. She doesn't have to act like a man or put on a deep voice. She's been a great champion, better than any current champion in AEW or WWE. And then you have Harley Cameron, who over the past month, and she has been pretty, I've never really focused too much on Harley Cameron. I'm going back and watching some of her stuff now. I've never really paid too much attention to her, but going back and watching previous clips, you can tell that she is charismatic. You can tell that there is something about Harley Cameron. But over the past month, the work she's been doing, portraying Mercedes Moné, the CEO, the puppet Mercedes, some of the promos that she's been cutting, the backstage segments, they've been fantastic. They've been genuinely funny. And there is nobody being funny. There's nobody being fantastic in the WWE Women's Division. And she's actually over, when you look at the crowd, I know there's not many people there. There's only about 10 people that turn up at AEW shows. But the people are actually behind Harley Cameron. So yeah, I will defend that. Harley Cameron, Toni Storm, Mariah May, they're better than anything going on in the WWE Women's Division right now. But here, this isn't a video to, put over and praise AEW women, because we're going to go and bash Tony Khan, because I think he said something that is worth talking about. So he said that every year, AEW has proven to be a consistent winner year in, year out. Now, I think that is debatable because after the initial year, the initial 18 months, AEW's kind of just been going downhill in terms of quality, in terms of ratings. It's not the same company that it was. I'm not going to say it started off hot, but there has been a decline, and we've seen CM Punk obviously come in and slip through their fingers. At the beginning, Jericho felt like a big deal. He was being portrayed as a star. I mean, you look at him now, and people say he had a midlife crisis 10 years ago. Holy fuck, I mean, he's having an end-of-life crisis then right now, because this is the worst version of Jericho I think we've seen. I mean, the learning tree is maybe a little bit better than what he was doing 6 months ago, but Jericho, is a disaster. They've lost Sting. So there is lots of reasons why AEW is no longer as good as it used to be. But here's what Tony Khan had to say. He said, quote, "This is our biggest year ever. Our revenue is so much bigger now with our contract. It's much bigger, multiple times bigger than ever before on revenue because of our new deal, which is, I think, it's well known. It's a much bigger deal now with AEW Dynamite and Collision simulcast and streaming every Wednesday and Saturday on TBS and TNT. Now with Max added in, we're creating also one of the top sports streaming shows. And it's a part of the future. And as a cable industry has changed, AEW has proven a consistent winner year in and year out. We do great on TBS and TNT. And now we're a top show for Max. And it's great to be associated with a company that, frankly, for us, has given us all these great opportunities. And I think we've delivered." End of quote. He also went on to talk about the following in regards to AEW potentially becoming a publicly traded company. And he said, quote, "I want to build. I'm still a relatively young executive, and someday I'd like to have a family, and hopefully they can work in the business. It is a family business." End of quote. Now, let's just talk about that last quote there. Basically, he didn't shut it down, but he said that he isn't really thinking about becoming a publicly traded company. He wants to keep the company as a Khan business, a Khan family business. He wants to keep it in the family. And honestly, I think that is the best decision he could make, and I think that is the worst decision that McMahon made. I think taking WWE in that publicly traded company destination, I think going in that direction, that was a mistake. I think that was the downhill of WWE. So yeah, AEW is not thriving right now. It's not doing great. But if Tony Khan's going to make one decision, I think not becoming publicly traded, and I think staying a Khan family business for AEW is the best thing that they can do. But for him to talk about AEW getting much bigger in revenue, I mean, just because he somehow managed to pull off a great television deal, just because he managed to basically steal money, that doesn't mean that it's getting better. That doesn't mean shit. I mean, especially you look at the prices now. I mean, you look at inflation. Things are more expensive now than they were 5 years ago when AEW started. Of course, you're going to have to pay more money. I mean, you look at WWE, they're charging more money now than ever for tickets, and the shows are like 100 times worse, yet they're charging like 10 times more. So this whole we're making money now, where we're getting record-breaking deals, to me, that doesn't really signify how great a company is doing or how great a show is doing. Look at the big deals that these companies have had over the years. Look at WWE. SmackDown on Fox. SmackDown paid a lot. Fox paid a lot of money for SmackDown. They didn't like the product that they got, and they kicked them off it. So that I think things like that are more telling. Yeah, you can get the big money deal, but it's about keeping the big money deal. And we've seen with AEW, we've seen with WWE, they don't deliver. They don't deliver when it comes to the ratings. They don't deliver when it comes to the quality and the product. They just do not deliver. Yeah, you get these deals initially, but there's no way Netflix are happy with what Raw's doing at the moment. SmackDown, they did not keep Fox happy. And I highly doubt that TBS and TNT are happy with what Dynamite and Collision's doing, because the numbers are awful. The numbers are awful. So Tony Khan can try and spin it. He can say whatever he wants. But at the end of the day, I think they are in trouble. And Max can't be happy with these numbers either, because they're not good. And that's just the honest truth. I mean, Tony Khan, He can try and spin it whatever way he wants, but they suck, okay? They do. The numbers are crap. Alright, let's talk about Bear Boulder then. So this guy, I believe he's known as Thomas Wanshaw or something like that. He is part of the AEW tag team, the Iron Savages. He was arrested last week, I believe, or last month even, and it appears he's been fired from the company. Looks like he attacked his fiancée. Not sure whether it's the first time he's done it. Probably be the last time he does it. I'm not too sure how bad it was. To be honest, I don't really care about reading up. The guy's a jobber, and if it was bad, I don't really want to go into detail. But it looks like this guy has been released and fired from AEW. He's got a tag team partner. What does that mean for him? Who knows? Maybe this guy will be a jobber. Maybe Tony Khan will keep him around. We don't really know what he's going to do. And finally, let's talk about Ricky Starks. He wins a world championship outside of AEW. So, Defi Wrestling made this announcement. Ricky Starks defeats... Who did he defeat? Defi World Champion Kenta to win the title in a shocking match. We also saw Ricochet show up to a surprised audience, but was meant to be one of the longest sustained crowd reactions in a long time. It was so loud he was barely audible. Swerve Strickland and Prince Nana attacked him. So there you go. Ricochet showed up, Swerve Strickland showed up, and Ricky Starks defeated Kenta to win the DEFY World Championship. So any Ricky Stark fans out there, your boy is a world champion. But unfortunately, it is a title that doesn't mean shit. So unlucky for him. Anyway, guys, that's it. Let us know your thoughts down below. I just don't think looking at money, you can't just go, oh, we got a big TV deal, so we're better than ever. I mean, it doesn't work that way. Quite clearly, you're not better than ever, because the ratings are the main, that's the main indication of how good you're doing. And the fact is, less people than ever are watching AEW, because the show probably is not as good as it used to be. So yeah, that's like, less people in general are watching wrestling, because wrestling sucks. That's a fact. It's an absolute fact. Anyway, guys, that's it. Until next time, peace.